Okay. Are we all ready? We've got 1 minute to start. And we've been given strict instructions. We have to stop at 3 to 8. So, I'm going to cram a whole lot of material into you today, and we are going to meditate as well. How is everybody? Good? Everyone feeling well? Who was here last week? Who is new? Oh boy. Okay. Wonderful. Wonderful. Anyone have never meditated before? Great. Well, don't worry. You already know how to do it. Can you think thoughts? Do you think thoughts every day? You can meditate. Great. It's that easy. All right? Now, it's not that I'm doing a new technique each week. A little bit. It's more that I'm building layers on your practice. So last week, we worked on your awareness on your breath as a focal point, okay? If I sound repetitive, it's okay to sound repetitive because as you expand your consciousness, as you practice, remember meditation is a practice, as you practice at it, you get better at it and you have deeper experiences, okay? So be very gentle with yourselves. If you can think thoughts, you can meditate. Remember, we are not in the practice of clearing our mind of thoughts. Anyone who has ever told you before to clear your mind of thoughts when you meditate, it's actually not physically possible to use thoughts or effort to clear your mind of thoughts. Our minds are thinking machines, thinking 60 to 80,000 thoughts a day, one after the other, unless you are from Tibet and you were raised in front of a whiteboard for 6 hours a day, which is not many of us, okay? So we're going to let that idea go right out the door. There is a place that you can arrive at when you're meditating, which is called the quiet place, okay? It's just to know what it is if you happen to get there, okay? Remember, you're meditating, all of a sudden, oh my God, what was that? Where was I? How long was I there for? Well, you're not there anymore because you're having thoughts again. Just to know what it is. Just to review, valid experiences when we're meditating on a focal point, whether it's awareness of your breath, as we did last week, not changing your breath, just being a silent witnesser of the inhalation and exhalation of your breath as a focal point, okay? Or a guided meditation. Today I'm going to teach you with a mantra, okay, as your focal point. A mantra, man means mind, tra means vehicle. It's just a taxi. When you put your little awareness on it, it takes you from the activity level of the mind to deeper, quieter, subtler states of the mind. It's very charming to our mind. So some people say they're gently repeating, not even a faint idea of it, not even a clear pronunciation of it, just a very faint awareness of this mellifluous sounding word. Mellifluous, meli means honey, fluous means flowing, okay? So we just put our gentle awareness on it and we will have an experience. Now, today I would like to show you a bubble diagram. I love this diagram. A teacher once showed this to me, and for those of you who are visual, it really explains what's happening when you're meditating and the relationship between your body and your mind, okay? Now, for those of you who have never meditated before, I have to do this analogy because you recognize and understand the experience. When you're reading a book, the words on the page are your focal point. You read, you read, you read. You read, you read, you read. All of a sudden, as your body rests deeply, stress, tension, and fatigue puts you up into a daydream. And you catch yourself daydreaming out here. Have you had this experience before? What do? You recognize you're off your focal point, in this case, the words on the page, and you gently come back to reading at the top of the page where you left off, and you read, you read, you read, and you read, you read, you read, and if you're tired, it will happen again. When we meditate and we put our awareness on a focal point, today, the mantra, this little sweet word, it triggers the opportunity for thoughts to come up, and daydreams, and shopping lists, and whatever it is that your mind wants to think about. Okay? It's actually triggering thoughts to happen more frequently because through daydreams, we release stress, tension, and fatigue in our bodies. Got it? Okay, all makes sense to you? All right, so here we go. People like to use the analogy of the ocean to describe the nature of the mind because the ocean has a surface layer, it has a depth, and it has a base. Can everybody see this? All right, on this side, we're going to talk about the mind, and on this side, we're going to talk about your bodies. Okay? Everyone can see? I'll bring it back a little bit. Now, in your body, you have stress memories, hundreds and thousands of stress memories that you have built up into your nervous system throughout years of life. You were ashamed as a child in a classroom, okay? And in that moment, your body took a picture, X, of that experience through all of your senses. The personality of the person, the music playing on the radio, the apple pie from the cafeteria, okay? Snapshot. Flash forward 20, 30 years, you go to a party, you're feeling wonderful. All of a sudden, you're introduced to somebody. About 15 minutes later, your heart starts pounding, your hands feel clammy, you're jumping out of your skin, something doesn't feel right, okay? Your body's going into what we call fight-flight. A stress memory has been triggered. You have been introduced to somebody that had a similar personality type to that teacher back when you were 15 years old and the public shaming ritual took place. All right? And what does that chemical signature look like? All of the fluid in your body goes to your bladder for expulsion, so if you're not going to stay and fight and you want to run and flee, you'll be lighter to do so. Your blood actually begins to thicken when a stress memory is triggered and you go into fight-flight, so that if you get bitten by a tiger, your blood will coagulate more quickly and clot, okay? Your skin goes acidic so you won't taste good. Your vision goes tunnel. Your prefrontal cortex, which is all about decision-making capability, gets switched off. And your amygdala, which is the fight-flight response at the back of your brain, gets switched on, okay? All of this because one of your stress memories were triggered. And throughout our lives, we are living with this basket or bag of stress memories building up in our nervous system, okay? These are your stress memories here, right? Now, our minds, okay? Our minds think thoughts. One after the other, 60 to 80,000 thoughts a day. We are a thinking machine. This is what we do. We move in this direction up to the surface layer of the mind, the worry scenario, busy mind. Always one thought, next thought, okay? When we use a focal point in our meditation and we put our gentle awareness on it, what happens is our minds find it very charming and move in a direction to deeper and quieter, subtler states. If we ignore the body for a moment and the body doesn't interfere this process, if you continued to just gently put your awareness on this sweet, mellifluous sounding word of the mantra that I'm going to give you, eventually you would get to this quiet place. Some people call it being. Some people call it the source of thought. Some people call it consciousness without content. It's the quiet place when the wave becomes one with the ocean. It's an oceanic feeling, okay? Now, that's not how our bodies and minds work because our bodies and our minds are infinitely connected. Our bodies interfere with this process. So what actually happens is, as we start putting our gentle awareness on this little sweet word, or even our breath, if we like breath instead of a mantra, our bodies follow. Our heart rate drops, our intake of oxygen goes down, our blood pressure decreases, all right? As our bodies settle, stress, tension, and fatigue bubble up as thoughts. And these stress memories start coming out of our nervous system through body sensations, through a twitch, through, images, through thoughts, through shopping lists, whatever the daydreams are, your body is releasing that stress, tension, and fatigue out of it. There's a defining moment. We recognize we're off daydreaming. What do? We're not hard on ourselves. We don't judge ourselves. We just gently smile inside. Recognize we're off the awareness of that little sweet mantra, or awareness of breath if that's what you prefer. And we come back. Gentle awareness on our mantra. Just faint, gentle awareness. Okay? And our bodies go into deeper and quieter, subtler states again. Our bodies follow. Then what happens? Everybody knows. Stress, tension, and fatigue as the body settles bubble up as thoughts again. All right? And more tension comes out of our nervous system. All right? We smile inside, recognize we're off, and so on and so forth. Now, there's a point at which you will transcend thought in this process and reach a quiet place. It doesn't happen every time. It might not happen for 5 years. We don't care. All of this is a valid experience. Having your awareness on your mantra is valid. Going off in daydreaming is valid. Remember, it's the only way to release stress, tension, and fatigue out of your nervous system. Being in the quiet place is valid. You're resting very deeply. Falling asleep in meditation is valid. Your body recognizes, I need a bit more rest. And you put your chin to your chest and you just rest. Try not to lie down. Just put your chin to your chest, okay? Our bodies naturally know what to do. When you eat food, you don't tell what enzymes to come to break it down. You don't tell your nails to grow. It knows what to do. The only thing you have to do is to turn up in a chair with your back supported, because you rest more deeply when your back is supported and your hands are down. You're not holding yourself or anything like that. And your head is free, not resting on anything. If you have a bad back, okay, get the pillow, go back as far as you need to. Maybe you do need to rest your head. But the best way, what you can do, be gentle with yourself. If your back is not bad, then you sit upright in a chair, and then your head is free, not resting on anything. You just close your eyes and you begin. Now, anybody have any questions with this so far? Is this making sense to you? Is it giving you a bit of a visual? Does anybody not understand what we're talking about? Don't be shy. I can explain it to you really quickly. Everybody get the picture? Yeah? Yes, go ahead.
If you have some kind of back problem, do you think it makes much difference whether you sit in a chair or sit in some other position?
Exactly. You do what feels best for you. You try and do what feels best for you. See if you can be more upright than horizontal, okay? And make the pillows, and then you probably will need to rest your head on something. But try to avoid being on your back if you can. But if you need to be horizontal, that's fine too. But I'm going to show you what the ideal is, and then you have to work on with your instrument what you can do, okay? Now, when we meditate, okay, so many things happen. After we've meditated, let's say the activity level of the mind is now here, and we've expanded our awareness about this much. It's like our bowl of energy is this big now. I call it adaptation energy, the type of energy that allows you to adapt to a demand that is placed on you in an intuitive, creative, artful way, not a reactive way, a proactive way, okay? Then throughout the day, demands are placed on us, demands are placed on us, demands are placed on us, and we're moving in the direction back to the activity level of the mind up here, right? So we meditate again in the afternoons. Zoop! Our bowl gets out this big before dinner. The kids come home, the husband comes home, demands are being placed on us, and we're so patient, and we're so capable, and we're so artful and proactive, and you get to bed at night and you're like, oh, I was really good tonight. And everyone was good around you because you had an infinite amount of abundance of energy. Remember, there is no such thing as a stressful situation. There are only stressful responses to given situations. No such thing as a stressful situation. There are only stressful responses, depending on the state of consciousness of the person receiving that challenge. The Dalai Lama, when he receives a challenge, he recognizes it's happening for all reasons. He probably needed that upgrade, and there's a lesson to be learned. His attitude is in the right place, and he is in the back row of the movie theater with an understanding of perspective. Those of us who haven't meditated and are tired are in the front row of the movie theater. This is horrible. I can't understand or see anything, right? I'm at the activity level of the mind, the worry scenario mind. I identify myself as this person at the surface of the ocean where all the activity is. But when I meditate, I move to the back row of the movie theater, or I go into the water where it's quiet and I can see the activity of the level right here, all this crazy busy stuff in my mind, worry scenario, this and that. But I'm in my truest nature. I'm right here in the quiet place where I'm witnessing this stuff, but not engaging in it and not identifying myself as it. Ever notice when you're rested how much more capable you are at handling things and people, right? When we are tired, we are not capable. Your truest nature is somewhere in the water where it's peaceful. And you have that space to be proactive and look up here. Remember what Deepak says, stop. S, stop. T, think. O, observe. P, proceed. Have that space to be proactive in that moment instead of reactive. This is what meditation gives you. It gives you this massive bowl of adaptation energy. It gives you fulfillment here within you. Your roots get planted, right? More so. All the laws of nature say we got to go this way and build the foundation within ourselves, within the building, before we can grow this way. And as an experience of meditating and building that bowl of adaptation energy within yourself, as criticism comes, you don't get knocked this way and that way. You're able to recognize, oh, I'm getting information from my husband. He's come home today, and he obviously had a bad day. Honey, you didn't do this. In my list of priorities, 5, you didn't do any of them. What's wrong? What's going on? You seem like you had a horrible day. Maybe I can help you somehow. I'm sorry I didn't get to that list. Not, what do you mean I didn't do that? I picked up the kids, and I did that, and I did that, and I did that, right? No. You just take responsibility. Know it's your space. Know what you are. Know where somebody else is, and that you're just getting information about their state of consciousness in a given moment. And you have the space before you react and get defensive and say, do I feel that way about this? Put the mirror back on yourself, check it out. Not really sure, actually. I think he had a bad day. What can I offer him? Or maybe I'm not available for that kind of communication, and I say, I really love you. You seem like you need a bit of a rest. I'm going to go downstairs, and maybe in a few minutes after you've meditated, we can play. Get it? Okay? All right, so. I'm going to teach you a little mantra. Yes, go ahead. What did I say? Stop. Oh, stop. T, think. O, observe. Proceed. P. Right? Stop.
Oh, stop.
Stop. All right, now I just want to quickly hear about your experiences. How many of you tried to meditate with your awareness of breath technique last week? Great. Can I hear from a few of you how that went? Go for it. Tell me.
I tried a few times. It wasn't as deep as it was here last week.
It's usually not as deep when you're on your own.
Yes.
When you just start with a teacher, it's always deeper. Yeah, it's fine.
The whole day I was doing it first
Did
thing
you
in the
use a
morning.
timer?
Yes, I did.
Great.
Yes, and my timer, 20 minutes went really quickly.
Great.
So it kind of felt like 5 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
And the timer just went off very loud. I was like, oh, no. So
Do you have a microphone so we can hand it around? Did you find that you went in and out
Yes, I
of
did.
like
Yes.
awareness on your breath?
Yes.
And then you catch yourself daydreaming or shopping
Yes.
lists or
Yes,
whatever
yes,
they
yes,
are,
just
and then
the
you'd
day
come
ahead of
back.
me.
Right,
Yes,
okay, great.
yes.
Wonderful.
And then at the end of the day, I tried to do that again, and I could only last about 10 minutes because
Yeah.
I was getting a bit hungry and
Mhm.
had to go in, and
Fine.
The husband was calling.
No problem. Did you take your 2 minutes at the end before you hopped up?
The first time the alarm went off, so
I'm doing this so that you learn something.
Yeah, I really wanted to take more than even 10
Okay.
minutes.
Remember
but,
when
2 minutes.
when your timer goes off,
Yeah.
feel those 2 minutes. Keep your eyes closed. And then slowly you can come out, stretch, whatever you want to do.
It's just a gentle awakening.
And
yeah.
then open your eyes. Don't ever jump up after you've meditated, because you will get either a headache or you haven't sealed the deal. You haven't sealed the meditation. You might feel anxious. It's like you're creating an opportunity for these stress memories to come out in a very civilized, beautiful, gentle way. And if you jump up, well, you continue to unstress throughout the day. Right? So you'll feel that anxiety. Okay,
But the only thing I found after that first meditation on Wednesday morning was that I just didn't feel like going to work or doing anything. I just felt so good and so relaxed, and it's kind of a bit of a chore.
That's okay. That's okay. Okay.
Thank you.
How about you? You wanted to say that something about...
My voice is loud enough without a microphone.
Oh, I think a few of them need it in the back.
I've actually been doing hypnosis for 2 years now. Quickly every week. So now I did it with 20-minute timer and literally just disappeared.
Great.
And then
you said it was helping you fall asleep. That's what it was. You were starting to fall asleep.
I literally went off to another place, didn't think about anything, and then my timer went off on my phone. But I made sure that the music on my phone was very subtle so that that doesn't jar me back.
Yeah,
and then
that's
I
great.
knew, because of hypnosis, to keep my eyes closed and then readjust. But I've been
That's perfect. Just remember, when your timer goes off, when you start to meditate, make sure you bring the volume down so that when it goes off at the end, it's not dong, all right? That it's quite subtle, all right? And then the timer goes off, and you keep your eyes closed, and you gently let go of your awareness either on your breath, or today it will be your mantra, okay? Now, you can tell when you're meditating. My head's sometimes like this because it's just gone down. I'm not bobbing. If it feels like coming in this direction, I just let it be there. And you can feel this blissful, heavy, deep rest taking place. Sometimes your hands can get numb and you can't feel them. All normal, not a problem. And then if you go a bit unconscious and you feel like you really lose muscle tone, that's you falling asleep. Just let your chin come to your chest, like I said before, and no problem. And then eventually at some place your body will have had enough rest in a sleep state, and you'll just continue on. If you have a timer, it hasn't gone off yet, or you might check your watch quickly and take a few more minutes. All right? Anyone else want to ask me a question about what they've been doing this week? Anyone else do? Yep. About meditating this week from our last session.
I was just so excited
Oh, I'm so glad.
because that's never happened to me with meditation, that I ever carried on doing it consistently.
Good for you.
So I just did it the first day and the second day.
Good for
the
you.
third day.
And it's easy.
Fifth day, it wasn't.
When you're finding it hard to meditate, people that have a focal point, if you're finding it hard with a mantra or your awareness on your breath, just sit and close your eyes and daydream. If I had you all wired up, your heart rate would be dropping, blood pressure, intake of oxygen. We'd use a focal point to take you to the next gear, but your body might not be ready for that yet. So if you're not enjoying it and it's feeling tedious and uncomfortable, just sit and daydream until that timer goes off. Okay? All right. We need to meditate. Yes?
I was just going to, what I did is last week, I scheduled the time, say 20 to 6. I look at my watch and say, right, I want to meditate for 20 minutes. And I meditate, and in 20 minutes, I was up.
Yeah.
No alarm or anything.
Your body naturally starts to move in that direction where 20 minutes is the perfect amount of time, and it's actually equivalent to a 3-hour nap. Now, is Label still here? Label, when the class is finished and we're done meditating, those that wish to continue, can we continue next door? Okay, great. Well, we'll find out. Anyway, I'll be in the lobby or outside, and we can all hang and gather and talk more. I really want you to have an opportunity to meditate. Okay. So, everyone close your eyes, all right? We're going to go for 15 minutes today, but don't worry about that. I just wanted to give you an idea. You get to surrender right now, okay? Just close your eyes. We're not doing anything yet except just being with ourselves. Say hello, self. How was your day today, self? I love you, self. Okay? Just be very present with yourself. If you're holding any tension anywhere, just put your gentle awareness on it. Okay? There's nothing you need to do except just sit with your eyes closed, your back is supported, your head is free. Just be. We do so much doing and a lot less being. We need to do more being and less doing. Now, just put your awareness on your breath like we did last week. Just notice that sensation. You're not changing your breath. You're not breathing deeply. You're just witnessing what your breath does on its own. You notice the inhalation of your breath. You notice an exhalation of your breath, but you're not changing it in any way. You're just noticing the movement of it. Now, very gently, I'm going to say this mantra. We're going to use the Jewish word Shema. Everybody knows the word Shema. And listen in how I say it out loud, because this is how I want you to have your awareness on it in your mind. Each time I say it, I'm going to make it softer, lighter, and fainter than the time before. Just listen. Shema. Shema. So in your minds, I want you to put your faint awareness on that mellifluous sounding word. Not a clear pronunciation of it, as faint as you can make it. That's what I want your awareness on it to be. As faint and as effortless as you can make it. That is going to be your focal point. Doesn't have to be fast repetition of it or a slow repetition, but I want you to make it as faint as possible because I want you to drop off into thoughts. I don't want it to be so rigid that you catch yourself conscious snorkeling instead of conscious scuba diving. Okay, let's begin. It's just a faint awareness on that sweet sounding word. There will be a moment where you're off daydreaming, and then you'll gently recognize when you're off daydreaming that you're off your awareness of it, and you will effortlessly come back to your awareness on that sweet sounding word Shema. Okay, keep your eyes closed. I want you to let go of your awareness of the word Shema in your mind, but keep your eyes closed. We're going to take a couple minutes to come out slowly, but your eyes closed the whole time. You can stretch if it feels comfortable to do so. You can move your neck around. Wake up slowly, but keep your eyes closed. Very important to keep your eyes closed through your entire meditation and to come out very, very slowly. Let's take another minute with your eyes closed, just coming out slowly. And when you feel ready, you can slowly open your eyes, very slowly. I think we're going to have to make it an hour next time so we can do a proper 20 minutes. Feel good? All right, great. So, can you find out if we can use that room label? Can we use that room for questions? No? All right, so outside or lobby? Lobby, okay. I will be in the lobby and we can continue there if you like. I will see you next week, Tuesday. When you go, please go quickly so that label can have the next class come in. And you all have homework. This week, do as I just taught you, okay? You're going to find twice a day, preferably in the morning, like brushing your teeth is the first time. And the second window will be that period from 2 hours after you've had lunch to just before dinner time. No coffee beforehand, no heavy meals beforehand. All right? And make it as effortless as you can. Don't show up and go, Shema, Shema, Shema. As subtle as you can make it, the better. Okay? See you in the lobby.